Fashion statement could also mean making a difference. Coming up next, I'll be talking to two men who are changing the world one thrift box at a time. Stay tuned for more on CU at USC. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for CU at USC. I am your host, Rachel Scott, and I am so happy to be joined today by our guests, founders of Forage Thrift, Ethan Mezrahi, Alex Zhang. Thank you guys so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Now, you guys are both freshmen, and you came up with this fantastic idea behind Forage Thrift. One of you, please let me know, what is this concept all about?
Well, it's all about thrifting. I originally thought of the idea while at Coachella last year. I noticed all the, the gorgeous, very thrifty, hipster people just, dancing around at this music festival, and I thought, where do they find all their clothing? It had to be somewhere not, standardized or streamlined. So that immediately sort of left me thinking it, must be thrifting, and I began to check it out myself, and the experience really taught me, the beauty behind thrift shopping. So bringing that, to a larger audience and showing them that, look, you can get cool clothing for a cheap price. I mean, what's better than that?
Right. And yeah. I first learned of thrifting because Malcolm Moore, who hasn't heard that song,
right.
Absolutely love it. Ethan,
right.
When was the first time that you discovered thrift shopping?
Thrift shopping. Well, I discovered it when I was, I think, in my sophomore year. I went with a few of my friends. They one of my friends got a really cool jacket, like Macklemore, and I was really intrigued by that. And when Macklemore got big, thrift shopping started to peak a little bit, and now the used clothing industry is becoming much bigger than it was before.
Now, the concept behind your guys' whole foundation here is so different from a normal thrift shop organization. You guys actually donate a box for a good cause. So tell me a little about how you guys picked that cause and how you guys are helping people in the Philippines.
Well, our cause is, we like to keep it varied. We like to give our customers the freedom of choice, because we see that a lot of these recent companies, they give a box. For instance, Tom's, they give a pair of shoes. The cause is sort of standard it's in their message. But for us, we like to give them the freedom of choice. So every few months, we like to mix it up a little, give them choices. So this month, obviously, with the disaster happening in the Philippines, we thought this would be the perfect cause to help out, because it's so much attention is needed.
And what was your reaction when you saw the devastation that was happening in the Philippines? I mean, the Typhoon Haiyan hit, thousands of people are displaced. How was that like for you guys witnessing that on camera, on television?
It's just awful to see the devastation and how much they need. They need so much support that it's not being provided. And we're trying to provide that support by providing clothing for people in the Philippines, because I really want to help out. And one of my family friends even has family in the Philippines, and when she heard about what we were doing, she was thrilled and excited.
A floor mate of mine, actually, he's from the Philippines, and I heard about it through him. On the very first day, he lives on my floor. I walk out, and something was just, wrong. I can immediately tell when I said, "Hey, Matt, what's up?" And then he was like, it's not going so well. And then he started to tell me about this, and I was, just in complete shock. And, he was almost a little disappointed because he felt as if the media wasn't even covering it enough. Wow. It's the largest hurricane typhoon that has hit in a while, and, they need all the attention they deserve.
Now, we have a clip of the devastation. I want to get to that, but first I want to ask one question. Do you think that students at USC are aware of what's going on? I mean, you mentioned that the media may not be covering it as much as they should. Do you think students on campus are aware of the devastation that hit in the Philippines?
I believe that a good majority of the students know, but I do not think that our whole student body is aware of what happened. And it might be partly due to the media, or students are just occupied doing other things. But I think that bringing awareness to this is very important, and helping them out is one of the most important things right now, I think.
Now, we definitely want to bring awareness to what happened there. So let's play that clip for our viewers back watching at home right now of the devastation that happened that was created by the Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines.
This is Keith Bradshaw for the New York Times in Tacloban, the Philippines. The city of Tacloban in the east-central Philippines has been devastated by wind and water, the result of one of the most powerful typhoons ever recorded in the Pacific. Driven by sustained winds of more than 140 miles an hour, the ocean rose almost like a tsunami, so that within minutes, homes hundreds of yards inland had their ground floors submerged in seawater, and water swirled waist-deep through the second floors for those houses that had second floors at all. Many died not just in single-story homes, but in churches, schools, a sports stadium, and other buildings that had been chosen as wind-resistant evacuation centers, but proved to be death traps when they began filling with water. Uncovered bodies still lie.
I mean, those pictures are just devastating, watching them and looking at what those people are, experiencing halfway across the world. How does it feel for you guys knowing that what you're doing here in Los Angeles, California, in the United States is helping the victims?
It really feels good to help out. It really makes me feel good when we give and everything. And that's why I want to bring the most support for Forage, because if people become aware of what we're supporting and our unique idea, I believe they'd be intrigued by it and they'd be more than happy, and they want to support us. They love the concept, hopefully, and we can support the Philippines too.
My personal opinion about, charity in general is that it's not personal enough. I feel like a lot of, these philanthropic deeds that, surrounds especially the USC community. We see a lot of the Greek system, emphasize, giving. But a lot of people don't really know who they're giving to. It's sort of, I sign this check, I pass off this amount of money, and I feel good about what I'm doing. But what Forage is really trying to create is we're trying to create this sort of tangible, assistance to someone. So with these boxes, we want them to know that every box they purchase is helping out someone. And that's sort of creating that connection between, their purchase and the organization we work with. It really is, that's really what we're trying to emphasize. So in every sort of box, we have a handwritten note from who they're helping out. So it's like, thank you so much, John, for purchasing this Forage box. It means a lot to us in the community. And then we really want them to feel that sense of, I'm actually making a difference, and I know that my clothes is going to someone in need.
Right. And what is the reaction that you guys have got from your customers? I mean, one, everyone loves their shopping, right. So I'm sure they're very happy to know that they're getting a whole new box of clothes, but to know that they're also helping out people, victims affected by the Typhoon Haiyan.
Right. Well, people that get these boxes, they're thrilled to get them, excited, intrigued by what's inside because they do not know what's inside. And if they don't like what's inside, we replace that. Mm-hmm. And it's not just that, but when they're getting stuff they like, and on top of it, they're feeling good about what they're doing because they're getting a box, but so is someone else on the other side.
Now, both of you guys are business majors, so I want to talk a little about the creative development that went into creating this foundation and creating this. Whose idea was it to have it be a surprise of what the customer gets? Which one of you guys thought of that?
It was during a brainstorming session.
Really?
Right.
We were just sitting down in front of a whiteboard, just talking.
That's one of our major sort of management philosophies. We use empty classrooms late at night, and we hold sort of these little team meetings. We bring in friends who are inspired about what we're doing, and we get inspiration from them, and we just map it on a whiteboard. And I think just seeing that in front of you and having people just discuss it, I think someone might have just said, it would be cool if we just had it, random, sort of capturing what thrift shopping is all about, random. You don't know what you're going to get when you walk into a thrift store, and you don't know what you're going to get when you open up a thrift box.
I love the whole concept behind what you guys are doing. How long did it take from thought to actually implementing it? I know you guys have a site that's up. How long did that whole process take before you actually gave a box to your first customer?
It was pretty quick, actually, now that I think about it. I met Ethan during orientation. We hit it off really nicely. We both, are fascinated about, creating things that especially, have an impact. And about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks into school, I said, hey, what do you think about this idea? Just totally not even like, let's take this all the way. What do you think about it? And, he loved it. And next thing you know, we started talking about it. And about 2 weeks, we started, just creating the site, getting feedback. And then about a month after that, we sort of had the Trojan Daily the Daily Trojan wrote a little article about us. Wow. So we knew that we had to sort of at least get the, the test, the beta up, just so people can really get that experience. And I guess the rest is history, and now we're here.
And Ethan, you guys are both freshmen, which is great. Not to undermine anything that freshmen can do here. You guys are young, you guys are changing the world out here. Ethan, what is the reaction that you've got from, other people that are much older than you witnessing what both you and Alex are doing?
They are just thrilled. Like, they're very excited, and they think it's an incredible idea, and they really see potential in it. And not only that, they love how we're supporting people on the same time. Like I said before, one of my family friends, really close family friends, she lived in the Philippines, moved here. Her whole family's still back there, and she had nothing to say. Like, she was just so happy. It was amazing just to see that reaction on her face.
I think that's actually one of, our greatest, attributes to making our little project, so successful in its early stages. Just the fact that we're both so young really captures, the eye of older entrepreneurs, anyone in the business field, because they're shocked that, when most other freshmen are out, doing what typical freshmen do, we're trying to make an impact and, change the world. And that's definitely helped in just getting feedback, from older members of people who've gone through this route before. And just, sending out an email and saying, hey, I'm a freshman at USC. I'd love to get your opinion on this project. It gets them every time. So.
Were you guys ever nervous? Most freshmen, you probably have so many friends who go out and party and hang out all the time, having a good time, and so much went into creating this. Was it intimidating when you guys decided to launch it at first, nerve-wracking because you didn't know what the response would be?
Definitely.
It was a little nerve-wracking, but with support of a lot of my friends, just encouraging me with how great of an idea it is, it really helped out. And yeah, we're here.
What about for you, Alex?
It was definitely a little daunting. Sort of just putting anything out there, especially with your name attached to it, and with the whole stigma of, oh, you're in college, it's all about building that reputation, the first day you step on campus. I was definitely a little nervous, what if the audience didn't really respond well to the product? What if they didn't like what we were doing? And, what if they didn't like the idea of thrift shopping? And I think that's the main thing that's really driving me, because I really believe that thrift shopping is something that everyone should experience at least once. A lot of the negative connotations of it being, dirty or, used, it really doesn't matter. And you really notice that when you purchase your first unique item of clothing. And I guess that's what's keeping me there.
Are you guys thrift shoppers yourself? Do you guys wear thrift clothes?
Yes. We were tempted to wear some of our wackiest outfits today, but, we kept it a little professional.
Try to keep it professional.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, when we come back, we're going to get more into Forage Thrift and talk about how thrift shopping is really making a difference all the way in the Philippines. Stay tuned for more at CU at USC.
When you have a headband on, it's like the rings of Saturn. You gotta get all kinds of energy.
No, it's like a Franciscan monk. You gotta put it on your head.
LeBron James doesn't have hair. We all know it. You should just shave the thing.
Are you saying because he played better in the finals without the headband?
It's about the hair on your head. It's about the hairline.
Oh, Mr. Philosophical over here.
His hairline is back here.
It is back there. So
fellas, save some talk for the show. The Water Cooler, Fridays at 2:30, right here on Trojan Vision.
wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Thank you so much for joining us back here at CU at USC. I'm your host, Rachel Scott. If you would like to reach out to us, go ahead and send us an email at cu@trojanvision.com. Right now, I want to get back to my conversation with the founders of Forage, Ethan Mezrahi and Alex Zhang. Thank you guys again for being here. And the first half, we really talked about what you guys are doing to make a difference in the Philippines. Now, one box goes to the customer who purchases the thrift clothes, and the other box goes to help the victims that have been affected by the typhoon in the Philippines. And during the break, you guys mentioned that you guys actually do the thrift shopping for the customer. Talk to me about that. Where do you guys even go?
There's a lot of really neat spots around campus, in the local Hollywood area, definitely, and it's fun. We get a group of friends, we all, girls and guys, to get both sides, and we thrift. We bring out they usually have shopping carts, or we make little handmade shopping carts using furniture with wheels they sell there, and we pile it all on top, things we like. And my favorite part is towards the end, we all line up on some couch they're probably selling, and we hold up 2 items, and we just shop from there. We eliminate. We see, is this one cool? Would people like this one? What kind of girl with this certain style would like this item? And by then, we usually get around 50 items from one thrift store, and we just hit the next one.
That's crazy. Now, Ethan, when you're shopping, please tell me that you see some clothes that you want for yourself.
Oh.
Do you put them in the box?
I have a separate pile for myself.
Okay.
We went thrift shopping on Saturday or Sunday, and we had a pile for Forage and for everyone, and I found a few items that I really liked, and for a great price, so why not?
Right. That would be my hardest part. What does a typical box sell for Forage?
$20, 3 items.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. And then a separate box is shipped away to the Philippines. Now, how hard is it picking those clothes? You guys shop for those as well, right?
Right. Well, how we sort of go off of that is the clothing. We usually have, when we package our female boxes, we have females pick out the clothing. We tailor it to your style, so when you go onto our site, you sort of pinpoint yourself to, it's a little difficult, but it's deciding what sort of style you would like to shop for. Right. And then you sort of click on images that you think, that you just simply enjoy. And from there, we're able to sort of more fine-tune you to your certain style, and then we build that box accordingly. The box that's sent to the Philippines, we're looking for clothing that's a little more durable, more, that cover more, that, for instance, like sweaters. They need sweaters. They wouldn't want, little tank tops. So it's really, although we aren't able to, style isn't the most important factor for the box that's going towards the Philippines. It's more of, how durable it is and how much use it can be for the people.
Right. Now, how big is your guys' team of people? You guys mentioned you guys have friends that come along. How many people are working on this project?
Right now we have 3 people solidly on our team, and we also have a lot of friends and just people helping us out. So if you include our friends and everything, I would say we have about 10 people that are just working on this project.
That's crazy, and what a movement that it has created. I mean, this is so powerful. It's so inspiring. I love it. Now, for you guys, is this something that you guys see continuing moving forward? How long do you guys want to keep supporting causes? And for each of you, is this something that you could see yourself doing as a career, doing things that, change the world and donate to, such powerful causes?
I would be thrilled to do this for the rest of my life if I could. Helping out people and thrift shopping, putting that together is just incredible, and I would enjoy the rest of my life doing this.
Right. Coming to USC and going through the Marshall Business Program already, they really emphasize corporate structure. I feel like the very first day, I remember already these accounting firms already on campus, trying to hand you pamphlets, trying to get you sort of into their system and how the interning and then transitioning to full time. And I was intimidated the first time they did that, and I said, "You've already planned out your life for me? Wow, I don't see myself doing X, Y, Z to reach a certain goal. I want to make my own path." And from that moment, and then working on this project, I realized that entrepreneurial, ventures, it's where it's at. It's really sort of, it's used a lot, but I mean, you're your own boss. You tell yourself what you really think people would respond best to. You get that done, and you see the impact that people, that the impact that it's made on that person immediately. You don't go through this sort of, hierarchy of responding to a manager, and then that manager talks to their manager. It's really, you're out there and you're doing your own thing, and you see the direct impact. And at least Forage, if it really takes off, I'd love to work on it. But this sort of sector of business, of entrepreneurship, definitely something that, for the rest of my life at least, it's fun.
I love it. And how hard is it balancing this with school? You guys are both full-time students here. This is actually your first semester in college. So just starting this and having it take off, how hard has that been, balancing this and academics at the same time?
Well, there's 3 things I would say in my life. We have sleep, Forage, and school, and you can pick 2 of those. I think sleep is what's lacking.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
That's well said. Yeah, definitely. We're not getting too much sleep, but it really doesn't feel like work when you're doing something you really love. So putting in the hours really isn't an issue. Balancing school can be definitely tricky. I'm finding myself prioritizing, Forage work over essays I have to write. But I always tell the rest of our team that school's first. School is the number 1 priority. So make sure to get your work done, and I won't expect you to put Forage over that, even though I secretly do sometimes. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know you guys are making a difference, and finals are coming up, so I'm sure you'll be studying hard. It's a harsh reminder. Now, in the creation of the name Forage, how did you guys come up with that name? I mean, that to me would probably be one of the hardest things is, coming up with a name for this powerful movement.
That was all Alex.
I came to him with the name already in
Did
there,
you?
and that's when I saw his eyes light up. He was like, "This is it. This is what I want to get involved with." And a little credit to some kids I went to high school with. I came home, I think the second week of school, and I said, "Look, I want to get moving with this. What do you guys think of this?" And we were all at this little cafe back in our hometown in Claremont, and we just started talking about this idea, and really what thrift shopping's all about. Thrift shopping's pretty big back from where I'm from. And one of them, who hadn't really contributed much to the entire conversation was just like, Forage. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect.
And it hit you.
It hit me. It's such a common word, and it's such a unique word, and the meaning is to look for something, to forage for something, and that's really what thrifting is.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
I love it. And then everything else just came together. Now, when did you guys launch the website and launch the entire project?
Our website was launched, I would say, within like 3 weeks after we got started, but we didn't start selling anything yet. Once our article got out in the Daily Trojan, we launched to the USC community, and right now we're still exclusive to the USC community. Just so we're using this as our prototype stage, just to fine-tune everything and revise everything and just make sure we have a solid foundation before we move forward.
Now, how much of social media are you guys using? Because I know that that's a huge part of our generation, especially.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how much have you guys used Instagram, Facebook, Twitter to really blast your stuff out there?
Facebook's definitely our number 1 medium, especially with college. Everyone's adding each other when they first meet each other on Facebook. It's easier to find people on Facebook. I'm a huge Twitter fan. Back from where I'm from, Twitter was huge. And what I noticed here is Twitter isn't quite popular, at least with our freshman class. And I think one of the difficult things is just finding someone on Twitter is so difficult. Just searching Alex Zhang, there's about like 50 of them. But through Facebook, they manage to categorize it based on your school, your location, interests. But Twitter really is more difficult to find people. So we selected Facebook as sort of our real method of sort of getting the news out there, and we've got a pretty decent sized fan page that liked, and we update interesting TED Talks, we update new articles. For instance, when the Philippines came out, the article on that one came out, we made sure to publicize that. But we really believe that we want to create a great community on Facebook. I'm working on this sort of little project where people take pictures of people who they think dress really unique, and then whoever gets the most likes on that can win a free Forage box. So just really sort of fostering a community of fashion and a community of impact is really where our social media is sort of headed. And I think that, it's a great outlet. Everyone's on Facebook nowadays. So
the creativity continues.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how do these boxes actually get to the Philippines? What organization do you guys work with that ships them there?
Well, right now we're working with the Filipino Club at USC, and what we're doing is we're working with them, and then we're going to send a bunch of boxes at once. After we get a lot of orders, that way we don't have to send one at a time, deal with those excessive shipping costs. We'll send them one big package and have a big Forage logo on it, and just have them be excited when they receive it.
I love that. Are you guys also going to include anything else in there, like handwritten letters? I know you guys send those to your customers. Do you guys plan on doing anything down that route?
We haven't thought about, what is specifically want to go in the box for the Philippines, but that's a great idea. Just, extending that handwritten letter, maybe in their native tongue, have some members of the Troy Phi Club write some letters in there. But on top of what the surprise that goes into the box for the Philippines, we're also trying to create the experience for the customer. Not only are we putting clothing in there, but we're transitioning and starting to put more unique, quirky items, just to make that surprise feel like Christmas morning. Really about, it's an experience. You open that box, no idea what's going to be inside that box, and that's the sort of feeling we're trying to evoke from our customers.
When you guys deliver the boxes, do you ever stick around to see the expression on your customers' faces?
Well, the first box I delivered, the roommate answered the door, and she's like, "What is this?" And then she got really excited when I told her about it, and she opened the box.
Oh my gosh, for her roommate.
Right. And then she ordered 2 boxes that day.
Oh my gosh.
And then that whole room just started ordering a lot of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's crazy. So it's really been like a domino effect, and word of mouth has been, I'm sure, crazy for people that do hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want people at USC to know about what you guys are doing and how they can help you? People that want to get involved, what is the first step for them to do that?
Okay, if an organization wants to get involved with us, on our website we have you say, I want to use Forage to support my cause. So you go on our website, type in your name, what your organization does, and then we'll set up a meeting with you and get to know you. And if we like your cause and what you're supporting, we're more than happy to work with you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we love what you guys are doing. Thank you again so much for being here. 2 great freshmen that I'm sure will continue to make a difference throughout the rest of your years at USC.
Thank you.
For everyone here at CU at USC, I am Rachel Scott. Have a great night and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys next week.
You're watching Trojan Vision. For more of your favorite shows, check us out at trojanvision.com and like us on Facebook.